And then, Di, we spoke briefly about what different kinds of dressage competitions can run in South Africa. So when I started, I thought that, the local show was the be-all and end-all. It was terribly exciting.
All of us.
So you obviously get your district, your local club shows. And then from there, what is, again,
Okay,
like the
so
progression?
basically, I'm only going to talk about the affiliated shows that
Yes,
are part
of
of
course.
DSA. So you basically get your shows in your area which are graded or ungraded but affiliated.
Okay.
So you have to be a member. I can go into why you should
do you
be a
mind?
member.
I think
With
that's
pleasure.
great.
Okay, so if you are a member and you go to an affiliated show, you're going to have first aid. That's the number one thing. Welfare of the horse will be paramount. So if there is a recourse, if horses are being abused or something happens, you still can go back to either us or the SAF. You are also going to be competing with horses that have passports and have correctly vaccinated. There is the SAF insurance, and obviously we pay into it. So if there is an accident or anything, you can claim, if you're on the way to the show, at the show, whatever. You're going to be judged by judges who we put, as you know, an awful lot of money into for their training. So basically what it is having a level playing field.
I think also having access to those judges is imperative for your own education.
Yes.
To get quality feedback.
Yeah.
We'd all love to go and get 8s, 9s, and 10s, but having really good judging can really change your riding career.
Yeah. No, it can. I mean, obviously you're getting a kind of educated assessment of what you're doing. And as you say, 8s, 9s, and 10s are really wonderful. But if you're serious about it, well.
I think also under that would fall the safe sport that SAEF is introducing. So it protects the riders from bullying and harassment if they are at an affiliated show.
So basically what we've had cases where a judge is abused, but they're at an unaffiliated show, and we have absolutely no jurisdiction. So we cannot then go and do any disciplinary or even do any hearings or anything. And basically the same with horse abuse.
Yes,
it's sad to say, but things do happen. It just does. And we don't have any jurisdiction over that if it's unaffiliated.
I think also speaking to when you said the welfare of the horse, that the other horses, they are correctly vaccinated.
Yes.
You're just in a different league, I think.
Yeah.
Everyone's just a bit safer and hopefully well looked after. So going back to the types of competitions.
Okay, so we start with the sort of affiliated, ungraded, if you want to do that. You then go on to your local shows in your area, which are affiliated, and you can go and get grading points when you compete, if you're a full member or whatever. From there, you would go to your provincial championships, which fall under the province. And
that would be Gauteng
Dressage Champs, whichever province you're in. You then have the South African Championships, which you are not closed. We welcome everybody. We're very keen.
So you don't have to qualify.
So you don't have to qualify to ride at these shows. Then the next lot of shows we have, which are national. Those are the South African Championships is under the national committee.
Okay.
The next thing we have is the DSA challenge. So that show is held in, I think, 7 provinces. 3 join together. We sponsor the judges. DSA pays for the judges to travel from province to province to
These are the same judges.
Yes. So you have let me explain properly. But you have 2 judges who go around the country. So they go from province to province, judging the same tests, obviously, and to get a result overall for the country. So what it is that you don't actually have to travel with your horse to SA Champs. It's very, very popular with the smaller provinces. Okay. So they don't have the opportunity to travel, and it's becoming more and more expensive. So they're able to measure themselves against the rest of the country.
That's really lovely.
Yeah, it may not be so popular in the big provinces where people are so spoiled for choice, but in the smaller provinces, it's really a big deal.
Yeah, I remember actually speaking to Nicole and saying something about, we don't want to drive all the way to Pretoria. It's like an hour and a half away. And Nicole just went, I sometimes used to drive 10 hours to go to a show.
Well, she used to drive 4 hours for one class and then back again.
You see.
Yeah, we are spoiled here. And then the next, so that's the DSA challenge. Then we have the World Dressage Challenge, which the FEI used to run it on the same basis as the DSA challenge with 2 judges who'd go around the region, but they unfortunately stopped that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so what you have is one of your own country's judges and another, you have to have an international judge. We don't have any in the region, so we bring someone in.
Okay.
And the scores then get put against the scores of the other people in your region.
And who else is in South Africa's region?
Australia, New Zealand.
That's some stiff competition.
Yeah, okay. I think Hong Kong, I don't think India is, I think Japan.
Okay.
Yeah, so I don't know why they changed us, because we used to be against
Brazil and I think, okay.
Yeah. And our fellow African countries are not, they have their own different.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah, their own group, yeah.
Okay.
And then after the World Dressage Challenge, we have the CDI, which is the international competition run by it's under FEI rules. The CDI 2-star would be a competition. It used to be it's up until this year. You could run it Grand Prix. You have 3 judges. They have to be, I think, all 3-star judges minimum. Okay. Or no, you could have a 2-star judge.
Okay.
And we've had those. Everybody loves them. That you don't have a need to stable the horses on the property as with the 3 stars.
But it's a wonderful opportunity to get
these
international...
Unfortunately, it's changed. Because as of this year, it's only allowed to run up until medium tour.
Oh.
The end of this year.
Oh, okay.
As far as I know. I don't know if there's going to be a chance to change it. So then you would have to have a 3-star. And of course, that means 5 judges, 5 3-star judges, and stabling and security and everything. So it's kind of put it out of our league.
But that would also be an opportunity for people who wanted to qualify locally to compete internationally. No,
because to qualify, for World Games, possibly if you had 2 of those shows and you got the qualifying scores,
which is 65.
66.
Okay.
And we had, and the FEI agreed that those could, because you have to prearrange all these things. So I think it's a year in advance where you would do that. So if you had 2 of those shows, although it's getting more difficult, I'm contradicting myself, because I'm just trying to think. Teams would have to still be overseas, because we are now up against different teams. I'm just trying to think for World Games. I think we could actually qualify here. Because...
But I mean, getting a horse overseas from
But the Olympics now is people chasing ranking points. So you have to do so many shows to be the highest ranked. And in our group, it's Africa and the Middle East. So we're against Morocco. Yassine, the guy who represents Morocco, has gone to a lot of Olympics. Palestine has sent people to, I think that they've hoped to. The Middle East, Qatar, and those countries are starting to get quite strong dressage riders. So it's going to be a lot more difficult for us.
So the answer is for people like Nicole and Greta to be based overseas where they are.
Well, Nicole, I think, has had enough of it. But anybody who wants to do it.
Okay.
At this stage,
Okay, the answer is to go and slug it out in Europe. Okay.
Yes.